Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been a completely balanced game, and it's never made any mistakes ever in the complete runtime of its existence. But what if it were written by AI instead? Well, since AI has been slowly taking over the internet, replacing the work of artists, designers, entertainers, and even lawyers, well, let's see if they can replicate game design. Yeah, I hear one passed the bar exam, so...
Jeez.
Not only that, but like I've seen a bunch of different kind of videos and all different kinds of genres of AI just not replacing what people can do, but getting uncomfortably close. So let's see what they can do when it comes to writing a Yu-Gi-Oh card, because we've all seen cards that we feel are imbalanced, cards that might not be right for the time. But this page here on Twitter, Yu-Gi-Oh cards but made by an AI, should be exactly what we're looking for. Let's take a look at the Stardust Cross Dragon.
Well, okay.
Yep. So, it's a Stardust Dragon. Simple enough. I will say, it doesn't seem that it says that it's like a Stardust archetype. I don't know if the normal Stardust ones are.
Wait a minute. I counted the stars. That's a level 7 dragon.
Oh yeah, it's tricky. Okay, so it's a level 7 Stardust. So it's a little different to start off with. First thing, 2500, 2000 defense. Seems reasonable to me. A tuner and a non-tuner, reasonable. Once per turn during the main phase, you can send a spell or trap card from the deck to the graveyard to special summon a level 4 or lower Dragon Synchro monster from the extra deck. That sounded real good at first. How many level 4 or lower Dragon Synchro monsters do you know of, Mario?
If it doesn't say tuner, there's quite a few tuner ones.
No, not tuner, just Dragon Synchro. Look it up real quick. I'll keep reading the card effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard by to activate that monster's effect, that's just a bit of bad grammar there, I suppose, which is a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You can shuffle one card on the field and one card from your graveyard into your deck. Okay, so a little target destruction, a little bit of target shuffle rather, a little bit of recovery. That's a good effect by its own, and it says you can only use this once a turn. Okay. Once this turn, great. Special summon one Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck in defense position. I guess it just tags that effect on at the end. Yeah, aside from the bringing out a really tiny Dragon Synchro monster, everything seems reasonable. And if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate that effect,
okay, so there's only one Dragon Synchro monster that can do that.
Okay.
Phonon Pulse Dragon.
Well, there's something that fits at least.
It's a Dragon Synchro that can change its level between 1 and 4.
Does it start with a level 1 through 4?
It basically, you could,
Okay, so the effect is plausible. However, the grammar kind of makes it not work there.
No, basically, if you think about it, because you can change that card's level through 1 through 4, you could basically bring out any Dragon Synchro with that effect.
Interesting. So that one doesn't exactly work. But we have next Trishula, the Supreme King of all animals.
Oh god, it plays.
First of all, this art is phenomenal. Those are not Trishula heads, but that's a Trishula body. Do you know where those heads come from, Mario?
That's from the actual King of All Animal card.
Oh, so it's like just fusing the two almost. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I don't know what that middle one is, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I recognize it, but I can't, pinpoint it right
I
now.
think that's the other version of the King of All Animals, actually.
Ooh, is that King of All Calamities?
I think it might be.
Yeah, it might be where I recognize him from. But anyway, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by attributing a dinosaur monster.
Wait, it's a dinosaur?
It's a dinosaur! I didn't even clock that. It's a Trishula dinosaur. Okay, special summon from him by attributing a dinosaur monster. Except this one, of course. If this monster is special summoned, which it does special summon itself, destroy this card. Oh. And if you do, banish it when it leaves the field. Oh, okay, so I tribute my monster to summon this card. I now destroy it and banish it. So it just nukes itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, you can destroy this card. It just does it.
And banished, too.
Now plot... No, you can't. I was thinking, can you protect this with Lost World to keep it on the field, but it's... I don't think it fits. No. So once per turn, you can target a card that your opponent controls, destroy it, but it doesn't get to stay on the field by way of its own effect.
It doesn't... It cannot attack the turn you activate this effect.
It can't survive the turn you activate this effect. Unless you have something that summons from Banish Pile, but no dinosaur play does that. Dinosaurs do love to be banished, but not for no gain or anything whatsoever. Oh gosh. Well, that's I'll call that one a fail. Next up, a Cloudian Drencher, and man, would you look at that art. This feels like it's zoomed in like the corner of the pre-existing Yu-Gi-Oh art, and it's just like showing just that little piece of it and giving reason to it.
Yeah.
It's a fairy. I don't remember what Cloudians are, but when this card's in your graveyard, you can contribute a face-up Cloudian monster, and if you do, special summon the card. Okay, so you switch it out. What's it get for it? You can use this effect once per turn. If this card is tributed, you can target one Cloudian world and one Tyrant world your opponent controls. Banish them both, and if you do, special summon this card, which is already on the field.
Wait.
Oh wait, no,
your opponent's side of field.
Yeah, because it's when this card's tributed, and when your opponent has 2 field cards, you can banish them and then special summon this from the graveyard, assumedly. And then if any monster's banished, this card is banished. Wow.
Okay.
So that one doesn't work either. What about... Let's see. What about this? We have Sekuru, the Wind of Wisdom. Is nice. You know, kicking Windfoot. You can ritual summon this with Endymion's Induction. If this card is ritual summoned, you can draw 2 cards. That's great. A ritual for 2. It's a 9 level, or no, it's a level 8 monster. Okay, so plenty of ritual decks can use this. Assumingly Endymion. Once per phase, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, return it to hand.
Did it say phase?
Once per phase!
Did it just...
Never mind! Never mind! I thought this card was clean for a second. But it's once per phase. Alright, standby phase. You return.
Return.
Does it on draw phase as well?
It says every phase, so...
Return. Main phase 1, return. Battle phase, return. Attack. Main phase 2, return. End phase, return. You can return 7 cards, or 6, and destroy one of your opponents per turn here. It's not a quick play, so you can't do it on your opponent's turn. Assumedly. So this card might be a little broken.
Immediate ban by Konami.
Yeah, I've never seen a once per phase effect. Obviously, haven't, because that would most cases be broken. But that's crazy. Okay. Next up, we have a trap card. Balance. Very simple. Each player can only control one face-up monster on their side of the field, and it's a continuous. I think this works.
Isn't that just... Isn't that one?
Yeah, there's already a card that does... I don't know if there's a card that does this specifically. There's plenty of cards that make it so only one monster can attack. Things you can only summon one type of monster or one
Wasn't it like Warlord or something like that?
Rivalry of the Warlords, I believe, is either the type or attribute of monster. But I don't think this specifically
There can only be one. There can only be one. That's what it is.
I think that... Is that
No, that's
entirely?
also type.
Yeah,
that's
no.
one type.
So this is just a more strict version of that, and doesn't really have any limitations for you. If you only plan on controlling one monster, that could be it. Hear me out. You run Kaijus and this card, you win.
Yeah, actually.
And there's plenty of decks that do just kind of focus on.
Oh my god, that is just a perfect
powerhouse.
Kaiju card, isn't it? You run a Kaiju deck with this.
Yeah, you give your opponent a Kaiju. Yo, I'm gonna play Dinosaur and give you a token. Good luck.
But Xylo, I don't play a tribute summon deck.
Then you lose. So obviously this card would be banned in Konami's current thing, I believe. But physically, it's the first thing we've seen that works.
Oh my god, Monarchs would have loved this card.
Oh my god, yeah. It'd just be another layer to their madness. Here we have a fusion card, Mech Knight's Spiritual Ballad. You can take a level 5 or higher Mech Knight, which is all of them pretty much, and one regular Mech Knight monster. Okay, so wording's a little unnecessary, but it still fits. You can fuse summon this thing. During the main phase, you can target a face-up Psychic-type fusion monster you control, banish it, and special summon a Mech Knight monster from your extra deck. Except for this one. So, I guess you can get the links out with that. And there are some Psychic fusion monsters that might not normally be run a ton in Mech Knight decks, but maybe you can make it happen. When an opponent's monster in the same column activates its effect, so we got Mech Knight effects going on, you can destroy the monster that activated the effect and inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. That seems like a balanced effect for a, you know, high-end fusion monster.
In defense mode is most likely you would keep it in too.
Yeah, it's got the higher defense, so use that, block out an opponent's row, stop their monster from using an effect. Also, you can destroy the monster that activated the effect. And, okay. So it lets you do that, and you can only use each of these effects once per turn.
Oh no, it doesn't negate the effect, actually, it just destroys the monster.
Yeah, no, it just destroys. Yeah, once it activates its effect, you destroy the monster. Yeah, you can destroy the monster. Sorry, the wording threw me off, as it's probably going to be. This could actually work, give Mech Knight some fusion potential, and I don't see anything completely wrong with this card. What about you?
I can see people teching it in just... Oh my god, people would just tech in... I would see this as a counter for certain decks. People would tech in like a few Mech Knights or Future... Oh my god, they would either Future Fusion or Insta Fusion. No, wait, no, Insta Fusion is level 5. But I would see people teching this in just for the negate potential. Column control.
It's not even great column control. It's just, you know, target destroy if you're in the right thing. So, yeah. It's, I don't know, very reasonable to me. Here we have a spell card. Oh, just a ritual card. Just used to ritual summon Marmoset Moon Dragon. Which, that sounds like a beautiful card as it is. And then, I think this, I don't know if this is just making up cards, this Moon Dragon ritual. But during your main phase, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls and negate the effects until the end of the turn. Also, priests and terrors, or sorry, priests/terrors with 100 attack cannot activate cards or their effects. You have any priest or terror type monsters, Mario?
No. Is there gonna be a new Yu-Gi-Oh type?
I think this is just a, you know, a great telling on how crazy some spell cards sound that are like archetype specific to anyone who like doesn't play with them. Because like if these things existed, sure, this card would be fine, but it just makes up all these things on the spot, and it reads exactly like a Yu-Gi-Oh card does, but it's just a bunch of nonsense. So I don't know. What else do we have? Ooh, Volcanic! And a dinosaur coming up hot. We have Volcanic King PYREN. Okay, you ever play with Volcanics, Mario?
Yeah, actually, I used to have that as one of my fun decks.
Okay, well, once per turn you can excavate the top card in a deck, and if it's a fire monster, which it would be in a fire deck, send it to the graveyard. So, get your fire decks from graveyards. I think that works well with Volcanics, actually. Don't they like graveyard?
Yeah, they actually do.
Yeah. So if this card is excavated and sent to the graveyard, so if you have multiple copies of it, I assume, you can target a fire monster in the graveyard and special summon it. Just any fire monster. So it's a pretty big effect, but destroy it during end phase. So it's a balanced effect. You want to use this for, you know, one of your XZ summons or something. Speaking of which, any XZ monster whose original attribute is fire can be special summoned from your extra deck. Oh, by attributing it one level 5 or higher pyre monster you control. I guess you can get one onto your field and then use that effect. Sure, nothing wrong with that. Once per turn, you can remove 2 volcanic counters from anywhere on the field and send 1 volcanic card from your deck to the graveyard. More to the graveyard. Okay. Are volcanic counters a thing?
I don't remember. No, they aren't. No, they are on the no, wait, no, the launcher doesn't use them. No, it isn't.
Okay, so
correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Yeah. If they exist, then that seems like a really good and, dare I say, balanceable card, because it really just you know, it has reasonable costs, reasonable limitations, and it brings out some good effects, you know, bringing out some of your stuff from the graveyard. So your comments here says it cheats out fire Xy's without materials. Is it good in Springans? Never mind, it's about to be banned. Can't happen. Can't happen.
Good in Springans. The second you hear Springans, nope.
Yep. Of course, sending Volcanic Shell to the graveyard. Oh, someone put up another fake card. Here, a Volcanic counter card. There you go.
Oh my god. No, that's a real card, I think.
Just Volcanic counter? Maybe that's what it means then. You can remove two Volcanic counters from anywhere on the field. Oh, I don't know if that's what it is intended, but interesting. Hey, fact check us in the comments. Let us know if this card would be usable. But here we have what seems to be a very simple dinosaur. It's very weak. Dinosaur, water.
Is this an actual dinosaur card? Like the artwork?
Could be. Maybe it's a piece of one. I think.
Or maybe it's from. Or this looks like a Rush Duel card, actually.
Maybe.
Artwork.
I really feel like what the AI, at least art for this does, is taking aspects of different Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It feels like one that's like in the background of something. Not like Fossil Dig, but, you know, one of those dinosaur cards that does that. Because I don't recognize it, but it looks familiar to me. But it says, your opponent skips the battle phase during damage step only. Alright, how do we rule this, Mario? What happens when you skip your battle phase during your damage step?
I guess the second any amount of damage is dealt to you, you immediately have the ability to skip their battle phase.
Yeah, it just does skip their battle phase. So I suppose if you're playing with something such as Dragon Maids and you need to go into battle phase to switch out monsters, you still get that full effect. But as soon as
unless there's a card that self-inflicts damage on your terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would obviously get around this, but
that's the only way I can think of.
And then just, yeah, as soon as they get to the damage step, not the attacking, but the damage step, the phase just ends. But that's just the battle phase ending, so would something like what am I thinking? I don't know. I lost what I was thinking. But
oh yeah, that is a Rush Duel card, by the way.
Okay. Well, I don't see this card being very huge.
Nope. Unless someone figured out some way of minimalizing damage for it.
Yeah. Anyway, we got ooh. Okay, just the ABC Dragon Buster. Burst Max. It's a worm with 2800 attack. 7-star monster. Okay, so we got a new ABC out here. It cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon from the extra deck. Ooh, so we got a little, you know, protection, battle limitation from stronger common cards. And you can only use each of these effects once per turn. When your opponent would special summon a monster, you can send an ABC Dragon Buster from the extra deck to the graveyard and negate the special summon. Okay, I thought I said normal summon for a second. But yeah, you can negate a special summon when this monster's on the field. That's cool. And yeah, just any special summon monster. As long as you have ABC Dragon Busters in your extra deck, which I assume you would with this deck. Let's see. Negate the special summon. If you do, destroy that monster. Well, obviously. Actually, that's really unnecessary. If you negate the special summon, would it just send it from extra deck to graveyard in that ruling? Would it be destroyed, or would it have just never been summoned and not existed because of that? Because I guess it would still be destroyed. Because its summon didn't get negated, so it still does go through with the effect of destroying that monster. Because you can destroy things from the deck. So why not from the extra deck? Sure. And if this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon any number of dragon monsters from your graveyard. Just dragon monsters, flat out, period, no limitation. Okay. Interesting. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that effect is crazy good, because you can only have this thing destroyed by battle by, you know, a regular monster not brought out from the special deck by its own first effect. But that's completely broken if a Blue Eyes White Dragon attacks this thing, you know? Then you just summon your 5 best dragons in your deck. What do you think? Okay, moving on.
And no, I really can't. Yeah, no.
Okay. Just gonna have a long pause here, because you really need to talk more in this, please.
Sorry.
Alright, moving forward in 3, 2, 1. Next up, we have KURIBOH Adventure. I do love me some KURIBOH cards. But this one starts off, the first line's a little spicy, Mario.
Special summon one dragon-type monster from your deck collection. That's would be immediately abused.
It's a KURIBOH card, but it's an equip card as well, if you haven't noticed. It's an equip card. So we equip this to something, and we special summon a dragon type from your graveyard. If you do, oh, equip it with this card. Okay, so that's how it's played. Then neither player can activate the equipped monster's effect until the end of the turn. Okay, so you summon a monster.
Oh no, end of the next turn.
Oh, neither player can activate the equipped monster's effect until the end of the next turn. Interesting.
It could be a bit of a counterplay if you do like that. You could actually, like, if you know your opponent's playing like a common dragon type, maybe you could play this, equip that dragon, so that way even if your opponent has it in their hand to play, you could actually use it to say, no, you're not able to play it.
Yeah, there's a real specific situation where that could be useful. Anyway, at the end of the battle phase, if you control no other face-up monsters, the equipped monster can attack your opponent's life points directly this turn. Nice. Not crazy, but...
No, you don't understand. This turn, if it, at the end of the battle phase.
Yeah, you can't really just sneak in another attack at the end of the battle phase, can you?
No, you really can't.
And it's this turn, too. Okay, so that effect does nothing. That's broken. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, well, we can't use it at all. I'm sorry. If this face-up card in a spell and a trap card zone is destroyed, which it will be there because it's an equip card, you can target one KURIBOH card in your spell and trap zone and return it to the deck.
Is there a KURIBOH card that puts himself in the spell and trap card zone?
Not by default, but maybe if you have a face-down KURIBOH spell card, it would be there. And of course this one, if you have multiple of these, it doesn't say that it can't be another KURIBOH Adventure. So, obviously the whole middle effect doesn't work, but it just does a very basic effect aside from that.
What artwork is that, by the way?
I don't know. It's like, we got a little KURIBOH looking guy there. Maybe. Then it looks like a kind of a cyberse field with a little bit of lightning going on, like it's a, you know, lightning storm situation. But
we know it's not from the cyberse era because we already know that Link KURIBOH was the KURIBOH for that era.
Yeah,
so.
It's obviously not the very same thing. It's a relink KURIBOH. That's what I don't know. What do we have now? Dogmatica the Magistus Sovereign. Ooh, that's tricky. A lot of people mix Dogmatica with Magistus. So this might be interesting. So you need a Dogmatica and Spellcaster. Very reasonable, I think. So, once per turn, you can target one face-up Dogmatica and equip it to this card.
Okay.
Let's see if there's a bonus from that. When a Dogmatica monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can draw one card. Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. During the standby phase of the next turn, after this card was sent to the graveyard by card effect. Okay, so very specific, but you can special summon this card. Okay, so if you send it, it comes back. I don't see any downsides of this card.
I don't know why you equip a Dogmatica monster to use.
Yeah, you don't gain anything from that, to my knowledge, unless you're running like a Phoenix thing, or the one guy that just gets rid of equip cards to you know, negate effects. But yeah, that wouldn't be equipped to him. You could still use it as material though, and that would be a weird mix for this deck.
I don't see this card being heavily used, but I would see this card being used for just drawing. Honestly.
I'm just impressed it's usable to begin with, even if its effect doesn't do much.
Yeah. I mean, it has a slight immortality effect at least.
Yeah. If it's specifically destroyed by card effect, it does. Mario. I need this. We need this.
No,
you love assault mode, Mario.
No, I love assault mode, but I will never agree to a Dark Magician assault mode.
Dark Magician assault mode, it even bumps up to a 8-star here. Let's check it. This card cannot be normal summoned or set, as expected. This card cannot be special summoned except for removing from play one Dark Magician from deck or graveyard. Ooh, I hate that. But when this card or a spellcaster monster is special summoned from the hand, gonna happen all the time in a Dark Magician deck. You banish and Assault Mode activate from the deck. Target one spellcaster monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Whoa. So Mario, this just means more special summoning for Dark Magicians.
That would also mean you have to run full Assault Mode activates.
Yeah, but if they're just chilling in the deck, that's cool. Yeah, it's just cannot be special summoned except by removing from play one Dark Magician from the deck. So you just activate that. Sure, it's rough to lose a Dark Magician from your deck, but he just comes out when you do that. So that's nice. And then anytime something special summoned from the hand, which, to be honest, happens a lot less frequently than you would think in Dark Magician decks. There's Magician's Navigation, which does that, but most of the Dark Magician effects special summon from graveyard. Obviously, Eternal Soul can do it from hand, but it's only going to do that once. But either way, when you do that, you bring an additional spellcaster monster from the graveyard and special summon it. It seems very simple, not too broken.
It would get annoying fast, though, because of the fact, like, you just need to bring out a Dark Magician by... Oh my god, no, you don't even need to use that Dark Magician, I realized. You could use any of them that names replaced with Dark Magician. Like your,
I think that one's
like your Shadow... Like your Shadow of Dark Magician.
I think it's only when it hits the field it gets that effect, though. It's not
I know, but you just bring that out, you tribute it for the cost of this card, and then...
Yeah, if you get it into the grave, if it still holds that name in the graveyard, then that would be possible, I suppose.
But that's right. It says from the deck
yeah,
oh my god, you
field.
can do it from the deck. You can do it.
That's what I'm saying. You just get rid of a Dark Magician from deck. I assume you'd have to hard draw this guy to make that effect work, but even so, you know,
at least it's not Mahad.
Yeah, I'll take it over Mahad. So.
Oh my god, this would replace Mahad for you, wouldn't it?
It's hard to say. It's not that great, if I'm being honest. It doesn't synergize with other Dark Magician stuff too well. In fact, it gets in the way of you having more Dark Magicians in your graveyard to play with. But when you do use this card, it is a big bonus. You effectively summon this guy and then get 2 spellcasters out. So.
Oh, I love some of the comments of the set, by the way.
Third good Dark Magician to retrain its existence. Nice.
It seems like a really fun card, but would get broken in ways I can't even see.
Yeah, because it doesn't... well, no, it does specifically list Dark Magician. I guess any spellcaster deck that wants to get summoned from graveyard, you just pack this guy into regular Dark Magician in your deck and in Assault Mode. You need to pack a lot to use this in any deck, really. So.
Honestly, you could just run one of each, and that would be just taking up 3 card slots, but then you would be able to revive any spellcaster monster.
Yeah. Finally a playable Dark Magician card. Hey, they're all playable, they're not just necessarily better than the others. Darn it. Dark Magician's getting roasted out here. A non-bricky good Assault Mode card. That's how you know it's fake. That's fair. Assault Modes can be a little bricky. In fact, this doesn't really feel like an Assault Mode card at all by its effect. Because a lot of them feel like they do this to slow down your opponent. They do this to bring in a gate. They do this to protect themselves. This one just summons stuff. It doesn't feel Assault Mode to me. What about you?
Yeah, no, it feels just a plain old Dark Magician card.
Yeah, it feels weird to put Assault Mode into the name.
If we're being honest, if you were to replace Assault Mode activate with like any spell or trap card that lists Dark Magician in name, in effect, or something like that, this card will be immediately broken.
Well, what do we have next? This is our boy right here. Oh man, Madam Pole. So we have a frog here, level 1. Well, 10,000 attack. 1 star. Let's just take that in for a moment. You can send 1 face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls to the graveyard. Target a spell card you control. Return that target to the hand. That's a very simple effect, but Mario, it's a 10,000 attack monster. This one's just a mistake.
Yeah.
Loses to Magic Cylinder, someone said. Yep. Not wrong. Not wrong. Jeez. Yeah, it looks like just like they put a 0 instead of a space in the card texture. Otherwise, just a regular frog card, but no, it has not 1,000, but 10,000 attack. So, yeah, it'll work. It'll work.
It'll work, but oh my god.
What's a good final card to look at here?
Oh god, that one.
We have the Cracking Chain as our last card. Ooh, dinosaurs, great. So once per turn, discard one card to negate the effect of all... No! To negate all dinosaurs on the field until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can discard one card to negate all effects of non-dinosaur type monsters on the field until the end of the turn. I don't know why it needs to list dinosaurs, but hey.
This card is just... This is just showing, like, the hatred for dinosaurs the AI has right now.
Yeah. But it's just negates everything on the field by discarding one card. How do we feel about that? Obviously, it's good, but... Yeah, someone's, like, putting down what I'm thinking here. It's skill drain, but with a discard. But you choose when you use it, so it's like a skill drain you can toggle on and off. Yes, it has a cost of discarding, but it also has a toggle. That, I feel like, is better than skill drain. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I can see cards abusing this. Oh my god. I just realized.
What?
If you continue this card and keep this on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cards that... I feel like cards like Monarchs or even your own dinosaurs, like, hear me out. Hear me out. You run regular dinosaurs with this card, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you keep this on the field alongside a skill drain, as long as you have power on the field, you cannot be beat.
Yeah, you could definitely just stack that up as layers.
And it doesn't say negates them from the grave or hand. So you just keep this on the field, keep a backup of something like skill drain or something else in your hand, and as long as you have power, you win.
Well, here's the thing, Mario. This doesn't negate them on your opponent's turn. It just says discard to negate them until the end of this turn. It is not a quick effect. I guess obviously you can play it as a trap effect. But yeah, it's only when you discard monsters, and it's only for one turn. So you'll run out of material quick. There's only certain times you can activate it, unless it lets you activate it constantly. Not sure. It's great anyway. But yeah, that is just one of many computer-generated cards. So yeah, someone else listed on-off switch to skill drain. Exactly, it's huge. What do you think, Mario? Is AI gonna replace Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I don't think it will. And thank goodness for that, because some of these cards are like, how would this work?
Mm-hmm. Does this make you respect some of Konami's decisions a little more, seeing that this would be an alternative?
It gone from a 50 to a 51.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. But yeah, if you guys want to see us look on some more computer-generated cards, we can. There is tons of them to look at. Many of them are awful. Most of them are awful by the look of things. But hey, there's a couple gems in there. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some other Dark Magician ones and Dinosaur ones that we might like playing Mario. We might get to see some Hero and Utopia ones in future listings if we do this again. But you guys let us know. Subscribe so you don't miss that when it comes, and we will see you next time.
See ya, folks.